Brace yourself for the wildest ride of your life. It's the craziest book Chris Aiken has ever written, and other things I should not say. Get ready for over 500 pages of pure, unfiltered debauchery. From his military years, Chris Aiken spills the shocking stories of sex, partying, violence, and the stuff that's so wild it's probably illegal. You've heard the tales on the Classic Metal Show, but never like this. Don't wait. Get your copy now at chrisaiken.net before the censors try to shut it down.
Hey metalheads, this is Eva from Eradicator and you're watching CMS TV.
Happy Hump Day to everyone.
Yeehaw. Last day of the week for me for broadcasting. I love it.
You're not doing a Saturday night show?
Well, I count that as the start of the new week.
Oh, I thought Sunday was the start of the
No,
week.
this is like Friday afternoon for me. After today, there's nothing for a couple of days. So
well, this is my Friday afternoon as far as well, I'm doing this show. Yeah, I mean,
right.
It's kind of like, oh, hey, now like 5 days until we're back on.
That's right.
I don't even know where to begin today. We got Tony Masaccio coming up in just a little bit. Restaurant Reporter will be live from Italy.
All right, very good.
The feast and stuff. I don't know when it starts or if it started or what, but he's going to be live from Italy talking about the feast.
Okay.
We'll talk to him a little bit later on. And otherwise, it's us. And I saw that you posted maximum audience participation today.
Yeah, let's hear it.
That's what we want. You know what we should do? We should put the link at the bottom and let people call in if they want to call in.
Fine with me.
That way you can join the show if you want to join. You can make your voices be heard other than through text.
I can put that up. Give me 1 second.
Which is always fun.
Join the show.
We are the Communist States of America. We're heading to it. But I'm excited.
You're convinced that Trump has no chance, huh?
I'm convinced Trump has no chance and we will be the Communist States of America. Yes.
And why is that?
Because I think it's been a lot of... I think we've had different politicians in the past, Democrats, Republicans, and I think that... I know because I've talked to a lot of them. I've talked to people that are behind the scenes in the game, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That, these politicians used to hang out together. Like, they used to go out to dinner after you'd be seen on TV yelling and screaming at each other, and then they'd all go out to dinner together.
Right.
They'd go have drinks together. It's not like that anymore. We have different politicians now, and politicians that are radically going to change this country one way or the other. I truly believe. Now, I believe that if Donald Trump wins, you're not going to see that much of a change, per se, at least from what we've been used to as a country, as far as a republic goes. These assholes think that he's a threat to democracy when it's quite the opposite. The left projects what they're doing, which is calling Donald Trump a threat to democracy, which means they actually are the threat to democracy. You have a woman who's running for president who did not win a primary, didn't win anything to have the shot to become president. You have a president now who you don't see very much anymore at all, who literally went on one of his only interviews and said he was forced out of the office.
Sure.
He literally said that they forced him out. Like, he thought that he had a chance to win. The race was neck and neck, and that he had a chance to win. They forced him out, put somebody in that during the primary season didn't get anything. She didn't get like 2% of the vote or something like that. She got nothing. Was picked as a DEI hire. I mean, it's obvious. You know why it's obvious? Because he said he was going to do it.
Right.
They told him he needed a black woman, and he said he was going to get a black woman. Well, that, by definition, is diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's the whole thing. That's what it means. So she didn't win anything. In fact, the Washington Post, along with a couple other left-leaning publications, back in March, what month is it?
It is August. Yeah.
So what, just a few months back?
Yeah.
Said that she should be removed from the vice presidency because she was going to bring down the ticket. Now, these are left-wing publications that said she should be removed.
Yeah.
Because she was going to be a downfall to the ticket. And now she's been anointed the queen of anything, of all politicians, and she's going to be the president of the United States.
Yeah, I'm just not believing he's going to be the president. I just can't.
Well, it's happening before your eyes. I mean, you see.
I'm watching it. I'm watching it, but I'm just not seeing it.
I don't know if these polls are accurate. Yeah,
I don't believe the polls are accurate at all. And believe me, when I see some of this stuff like the faked fucking crowds out there at the events, that makes me think all of it's bullshit.
And we're going to talk about that because
I mean that's a big part of it. They're saying that it's that she's so popular and she's not. One, she's getting what little bump she's going to get by being the new fresh face and not an old retarded boob.
But
so there's that.
Here's the problem with that, is that she's riding this, they're calling it a, quote, sugar high everywhere, with this bump that she's getting from being not Joe Biden. But she's going to ride this as long as she can without taking a fucking question.
I get that.
She may dodge this debate that she agreed to do. Because if she keeps her mouth shut and smiles, and Time Magazine puts her on a cover who, quite frankly, the rumors are true, looks more like Melania Trump than it looks like Kamala Harris, she's going to ride on through to win.
She might. I'm not saying she won't. I'm just saying that's going to be Civil War time, I guess. Because I know some of us are not giving up our guns. I don't care what this stupid cunt says.
Now,
some of us aren't giving up our guns.
Well, I mean, you're going to give up a lot of things. You are.
I'm not.
You have to give up a lot.
The only thing I'm giving up is my life. Because I'm not giving up. I'm not willing to give up my guns. I'm not willing to be a slave. I'd rather be dead than be a fucking slave. Fuck her. Fuck Washington. Fuck cum guzzler Walls. I don't give a shit about any of them. Fuck them all.
Now, look, I'm totally on your side. I agree with you. However, I think that when push comes to shove, Americans are the easiest to shove. I think that, we put up a lot of shit. We showed it during COVID. The most patriotic of people sat there, closed their businesses, put on a mask, stood 10 feet apart from each other like dicks, and we proved that we could be pushed around by our government. So, we talk a big game, but when the government comes a knocking, I mean, what are we actually going to do?
Kept my business open. I'm telling you now, I kept my business open. I kept Pinball PA open. I didn't give a shit. And I took so much backlash from people calling me the Corona-cade and saying that I was killing Pennsylvanians and everything else. How's that feel now, you stupid dicks? Certainly hope you all die suddenly, you fuckwads.
Trump definitely won't win. It's not planned for him to be in. He already knows that. You would have to go against everything he promised and doesn't. Well, what do you mean you have to go against everything he promised? I don't understand that.
Marty's in the Bilderberg group. Not in the Bilderberg group, but he's in the Bilderberg camp, I guess.
Look, the elites have a big, horrible plan for the world, and it started with COVID. I totally agree with that.
I agree with that.
I think the elites definitely have a big, huge plan here for a global economy, a global everything.
Well, if that's going to be the case, then why stay alive? I honestly say that, and I'm not even joking. What is the point to coast along to the next thing? Wouldn't it be better to die in a blaze of glory than to be a slave to these fucking Rothschild cocksuckers?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, all new laws in Europe banning free speech it's happening. It's happening in front of our eyes. And what's sad is the left wants it to happen here. And I truly believe that it will happen here as soon as somebody like Kamala Harris is elected, especially with a guy like Tampon Tim, who is a maniac. He's a crazy person. He is a full-on socialist.
So what do we do? Do we go to the next level of January 6th? Is that what's going to be called for if she wins?
Totally.
You think that's what'll happen?
I do. I think it's going to take...
I think it's the gun confiscation.
I think at free speech, I think it's going to be an awakening here.
Dude, I don't think free speech is as important to most people as you think. It is to me. To me, it's more important than guns. But I think this, especially the younger generation, the 20 to 40s, they don't give a shit about free speech. They can't look past the front of their face to see that it'll hurt them, especially if they believe in this dumbass party. I
think the TikTok generation will start to care once you're being regulated on what you can and can't do. Well, you're already being regulated on what you can and can't do on social media, but once it starts affecting them, which it will in the long run, they're just too stupid to know it right now. It will affect them in the long run, and then maybe they'll start to see the light.
Yeah, I hope. I hope. It's a scary thought to think 4 months from now we could be fucking in a dictatorship.
But the thing is that half the country does believe in this stuff. Half the country. I'm looking at a post right now from a guy that we know. I'll just call him Joe. And he has a picture of a skyscraper with a cat pushing Donald Trump off of it. And saying it's a new day, it's a great day, all those kind of stuff. That's the kind of fucking people that we're dealing with. He's a fucking nutbag that actually believes that cats are more important than people. Now, granted, most cats are nicer, but actually a lot of cats are dicks. But, I guess a pet is friendlier than most people. At least they can't really talk back to you. Mm-hmm. The other post that our friend said, get this one. How about this?
Okay.
And then, of course, because I'm addicted to social media, I had to be a dick. I'm with my partner as he gets his vasectomy. And I can't help but notice no protesters, no one trying to get him to change his mind, no unnecessary medical scans, no 48-hour waiting period. It's like they trust him to make his own medical decisions. You fucking douchebag losing motherfucker. If you're going to sit there and compare a guy going to get his tubes tied to the killing of a baby, then you are dumber than you look. And you can strangle those stupid-ass cats because they ain't no good to you anymore, pal. You're a dumbass. If you honestly believe that, then there's no purpose in you being around anymore. If that's your logic, then get the hell out of here.
The Republicans that would be protesting are too busy working.
Protesting what?
I don't know.
You're not protesting anything when you get your tubes tied. I don't care if you get a vasectomy. We're talking about, he's comparing that to killing of children?
Well, somehow I think he might be trolling you and you're biting.
Trolling me? There's 100 comments on here.
He might just be trolling. He's shit posting.
No, I think he's just that dumb. I do. I mean, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be a dick, but I mean, you cannot honestly just sit there and post stuff like that and be like for real about it, like for real, like he's for real. There's another. So I commented, of course, because I can't keep my mouth shut because I'm an asshole, and I said, hey, look, your comparisons here are kind of perverted. I mean, you're comparing the killing of a baby to that. And then he proceeded to say that Republicans don't care about any lives when it comes to illegals coming across our border.
You're right. We don't.
And I
See,
said,
this is where the argument needs, and you somehow defended it, right? Go ahead and defend it, because then I'm gonna step in on this.
No, all I said was I've never seen Republicans say I want to kill illegals coming across this border. Yes, they're breaking the law, so they should be punished, like sent back to where they came from until they come here the right way. But I never have called for the killing of anybody, and especially not the killing of babies. Then he responds to my post by saying, I don't believe in borders and lines drawn by government overlords that want to control this country. Every country has a border, you dumbass.
Well, he's a one-worlder.
Well, then find a different part of the world to live in.
Joe's
Take
communal.
Joe
seems to be
somewhere with them and have a good life. Go
Joe
find
seems
a
to
line
be
pet,
communal.
get eaten. You like cats so much, there's some really big ones in other parts of this borderless world. Go hang out with those cats.
I find the whole thing funny. I find that you get this mad about it the most funny. If people are stupid, they're stupid. Who gives a fuck what they think?
Because I can't live in this country where half the country is going to literally vote for a fool who has not given one policy up.
But it's going to happen. So
It's
why would you get mad? So why get mad?
We need to revolt. So now we need to revolt. Now we need to sit there and say, if this happens come November and she gets elected, and when she takes office, we need to do something.
Do you need to see stupid people to lead you to revolt? Can't you just look at the fucking situation and say, I'm not standing for this?
Okay, but one person can't do anything. You need a group. You need a large group. You need the other half of this country to say, all right, I've had enough.
Believe me, if she wins and she tries to follow through on her thing of mandatory gun confiscation, you'll be able to find that group pretty quickly. They'll be the ones in the streets with the rifles.
I'm trying to read some of these comments. You can call into the show. It's right there. Click on, copy that link and join. You can make your voices be heard other than text. Look, and the problem is that even our government doesn't do shit for us. Even the right side that I believe in doesn't do anything for us. We talk to congressmen all the time, and they're always talking about, we've written letters to. Quit writing letters. Start arresting people. Start taking things in your own hand. Start doing something for the people that you represent, damn it.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for you to write a letter. That doesn't do anything.
Let's turn the body cams off and get back to wood shampoos, my friend.
Start leading me to the
Beat
direction.
some common sense into some people.
Start leading me into the direction that we need to go to win this battle against the evil side. There is good and evil in this.
Yeah, dude. I just don't understand the energy that you give to this. To Facebook. I mean,
because I don't have any other outlet. Where else am I going to take it on? I mean,
simple. You turn it off. You turn it off until you have to deal with it. You know what you got to do if you have to deal with it. You don't need Facebook showing you that people are stupid in order to know what you have to do if it comes to your door.
No, but I want to take it on. I want to.
Well, I know you do.
I want to be part of the group marching in the streets to victory. I don't want to sit back and take it anymore.
But arguing on Facebook isn't making you. Isn't opening the door for you to be part of that mob.
But what's going to? What other outlet do I have other than coming on here and bitching about it?
I don't know.
I don't have anything. I would love to organize. I would love to. There's going to be people knocking on the door for about 10 minutes. I would love to organize and get a whole bunch of people to start marching these damn streets and start taking over what's ours again. Because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of parades for whatever we see in June instead of seeing parades for vets all the time. I'm sick and tired of the left bitching about every little cause, and everybody wants to give them everything that they want. I'm sick of them being a month for every fucking group of people in this country. How about we're all Americans here? I want to take to the streets. I want to be part of that group to take this country back.
Well, see, and again, it's just a different philosophy between me and you. You want to argue with it in the hopes of changing somebody's opinion. I just can't be influenced. I will not stop calling a faggot. I will not celebrate LGBTQIA plus minus 1, 2, 3. I will not celebrate Juneteenth. I will not. Call me the name that you want to, lefties, because I don't care about that either. Racist? Fine. Homophobe? Fine. I don't have to come on and defend my point. I don't need to defend my point to somebody that is not at my level. Fuck them. I don't care what they think. I don't care what they say. Fuck them. They don't matter. They're not worth the energy. I know if they come for my guns, what I'm going to do. And I know I'm joking around about, I'll shoot this or that or whatever, but I know what I'm going to do. And nothing is going to convince me otherwise of what I'm going to do. Not some fucking law, not some lawmaker, not some dickhead telling me that I should willingly hand over my gun and take a $300 Amazon card from my local law enforcement. None of that matters. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You have to get yourself that way in order to be ready for what could inevitably happen.
So forget about the guns. So what if they come to you and say, all right, Chris, I know you don't drive a lot, but say you did, at least you had some. But say they come to your house and say, all right, we're taking out your electric stove, or your gas stove, sorry. We're taking out your gas stove. We're taking your car from you. You're going to drive an electric vehicle. You're going to have electric everything. And then your prices are going to go through the roof, as you know. And we're going to make you do this. We're going to implement this green crap, and you're going to deal with it or else.
I'm not going to do it. I will defy the law. I'll break the law. I'm not afraid of the law. I'm not that guy that gives a shit about the law. When we had COVID and they had all the red zones and the green zones and the yellow zones, I had the fuck you zone. I did not pay attention. The closest I came to paying attention during COVID was I called my state police to see if my guys were going to get arrested if I kept my place open anyway.
So what happens if Tim Walz, who is the guy who came out and said free speech does not include this, and this, and he says I'm getting rid of these podcasts that put out misinformation. I'm getting rid of your ability to give what you want to say out there.
Then I'll do what I got to do.
Our podcast will be gone.
Yeah. And?
I mean, how are we going to defy it and just put it on anyways?
Could.
How are we going to fight back to this?
We could. We could just tell them to go fuck themselves. If enough people do it, enough people do it. If enough people don't, then I'll just sit here and be angry. I'll be the guy brooding in the corner that all of a sudden people are like, I never understood. I never saw him as that way when he goes and shoots up a goddamn mall. He seemed like a nice, friendly guy. Can't imagine why he was angry. I mean, that's... Dude, arguing about it in public isn't going to help you. It's not going to make a point. It's not going to make... The people today are too stupid. If they're leaning toward Harris Walls, it already means that they get their information and their knowledge from the dumbest place in the world, the television set. They're not getting it from any critical thinking. They're not getting it from any logic. And again, I'm not a Trump guy either. So I'm not trying to say that Trump is the answer and these guys are fucking pieces of shit. I'm saying they're all pieces of shit, and we as a people need to get ourselves ready on our own terms as to what we do. Doesn't matter who's in the fucking office. You got to run your life your own way. And we got to get to that point now.
We talked to, again, a congressman, and I won't name names, but he said that people are smarter than this. They're going to figure out that Harris isn't, giving any policy, that she's part of the problem that's happening right now with Biden, and that the country's gone downhill because of Biden and Harris. And people are smarter than that, and they're going to, vote the way that they should vote. Well, I don't think that's true at all. One, I think there's too much just hate for Trump because people are jealous or whatever it is of Trump, that they hate him. And then on top of that, I think people are just generally fucking dumb.
I agree with that fully.
People listen to talk shows, even ours. I mean, I think for the most part we're entertained, but we provide some political analysis. We provide some sort of news details at times when we're not talking about amputee porn. But people that listen and educate themselves with shows like Bob's or whoever I know what's going on. But the rest of the people don't. Most people are sitting there with their head in their hands or in the sand, and they're walking around, and they're more worried about what they're going to have for dinner and what movie they're going to see this weekend if they can afford it than they are worried about who they're going to vote for come November.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reality is, dude, it's going to play out the way it's going to play out. And quite honestly, if it plays out the way you're talking about it and Kamala comes in and she fucking wrecks the country or whatever, the easiest way is just, at that point, that's when you just say, okay, well, I'm going to change my lifestyle. Instead of trying to be productive, I'm going to be a drain on it. I'm going to get on the somebody put in there about government assistance. I've thought about this fully. If they're going to make it even harder and more difficult for me to run businesses and own businesses and speak my mind and do my thing, well, you know what? Then I'm not going to do shit. I'm going to get myself on disability. I should have for the last 20 fucking 30 years, whatever. I could have got disability for this burn accident. I just never have. I'm going to put myself on disability. I'm going to put myself on the dole. And I'm going to live out my life letting them pay for my... If they're going to make my existence shitty, then they're going to fucking pay for it.
I mean, that's true.
Period.
I could absolutely get disability for a couple of different things.
Absolutely.
And I could be sitting around here living off the government and hustling on the side.
You could probably, me as well, we could probably literally, between disability and welfare and grocery or whatever that's called, EBT or whatever, we could probably put $4,000 to $5,000 a month into our house. Don't you think?
Yeah, probably.
If we went for every stupid thing, I'm sure there's a grant for burn victim PTSD. I'm sure there's a grant for amputees for Jesus or something. I'm sure there's a grant for every stupid thing that's out there that we could be just filling out paperwork and getting money for. And I could go into some shrink, squeeze out a couple of tears and say, I'm afraid of getting blown up again. Every day when I go outside, I'm scared. I could go and do that and get myself on fucking disability tomorrow. And no, who's going to argue that? Who's going to argue a guy that was burned 70% in an explosion doesn't have PTSD? Who's going to make that argument? No one. Who's going to make the argument to you that every time you see somebody walking on 2 feet, you feel fucking inferior and unsafe? And again, if you went into a shrink and you cried out a couple of tears for that, you could capitalize on that. We are from, me and you both are from a generation that was taught to earn. We were taught to take care of ourselves. But if this is the situation that they want to put in, where you can't achieve, you can't go further, you can't rise above, well then fuck you. Take care of me fully. I will be one of the Despicables, or what was that show? Was it the Despicables, the cartoon?
It might have, I don't know.
With the big orange guys, and they just got so lazy because they sat around all day and the government took care of them. The Incredibles or something. I forget what it was, but that is the deal. If they're going to take anything that makes me want to achieve and want to succeed and wants to go further, then fuck them. Then they can pay for every goddamn thing, and I don't give a shit.
I mean, I'm with you. I just I'm more of the, I want to see people stand up for their rights and go after the government as opposed to sitting back and taking from the government.
The problem is the people that will stand up are too old to stand up. We literally, I mean, think about it, dude. If we were going to have a true civil war, a true civil war would require the 20 and 30-year-olds. And they've been conditioned for the last 20 and 30 years to be pussies.
Well, that is true.
So they're not going to stand up. Do you really think somebody that's 22 years old, right now and is out there fucking supporting Tampon Tim and Harris, the minute something doesn't go their way, they're going to say, well, no, that's enough. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to step in. I'm going to stand up for my rights. They are going to fucking fold like somebody that has a 3-7 in a game of in poker.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be government for the people, by the people, and we are not anymore. I mean,
No.
they changed that. They flipped that script, and now they control us. And
Well, there's no representation. That's for damn sure.
This certainly isn't a conspiracy theory. This is just actual fact. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't make any decisions anymore, and our government doesn't help us the way that they should anymore.
Well,
I don't know if they ever did, but they did better than they are now.
The fact that we can have in our state multiple representatives for our state and they vote opposite shows that we have no representation.
Well, absolutely.
Because they're not supposed to vote what they think. They're supposed to vote what we think.
Right.
So even if it was, I'll go as far left as I could possibly go. If it was late term abortion up to 6 years old, I'm going as far left as I could possibly go here. If that was what was on the table, and anybody voted some right, some left, that just proves that we don't have representation, because their only job is to represent what we feel, and they don't do it, and we don't hold them accountable. Sometimes we got to vote them out, and if we can't vote them out, like that fucking twat bag Talib in wherever she is, the squad bitch. If we can't vote them out, then we got to march into that Capitol and pull them out. Pull them out by their fucking hair. Say, you're out of here. We're not gonna go by a false election. We're not gonna go by a fucking, faked thing. We're not accepting your terms. We're not accepting your rules about counting votes. We're not accepting any of it. Fuck you. Do it right, or we're throwing you out. The old-fashioned way.
Like our governor.
Like tar and feathers. That's what we need to bring back, tar and feathers.
Like Governor DeWine. Governor DeWine is definitely not one of us. He was supposed to, during COVID, he was supposed to be there for us. He wasn't.
Mm-hmm. No, we're always screwed on it, dude. You know that. I mean, it's...
Remember that cartoon that was made?
Yeah.
I'll play that for you. Can I play it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the guy, Governor DeWine, who lied straight to our faces.
Lieutenant Governor, this yesterday, but I want your kind of spin on this. What is your end game here? Because right now, we've been wearing masks like we were told to. 4 to 6 weeks is what you said originally. That date is approaching. We were told to flatten the curve. We did that. We've been told to stay at home. We've cut restaurants and bars. People are still losing money because they have to close early now. How do I know that this is not going to be a permanent thing? When is the mask thing going to stop? When are the restrictions going to stop? We've done everything that you've asked us to do, and the dates keep flying by, and nothing new is happening.
Well, first of all, when we announced the mask order, I didn't say it was going to be on 3 to 4 weeks.
It said 4 to 6 weeks, I think was what the doctor said.
Not what I said. I never said that.
Clip.
Look.
Said the following. If all of us would put on a face covering now for the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, we could drive this epidemic to the ground.
It said 4 to 6 weeks, I think was what the doctor said.
Not what I said.
What a dick. What a dick.
He's a dick and he was a liar.
Well, he's a politician, so both of those pieces are like automatic as part of
and
it.
there were other guys, even Bob, that called him out on his bullshit, and he lied. And they're still doing that. We have quite a few Ohio people that are just liars.
Well, not Ohio people. Politicians. They're all fucking liars. That's how they get there. Every one of them. I honestly believe once you graduate city council, because I do think that city council people, a lot of those people are just people that live in your city and are hoping to, get a pothole fixed on Main Street or, get the playground cleaned up. But I think once you graduate from city council and you get into any kind of regional, state, or federal politics, the first thing somebody says is, you ain't going to get there being honest. You got to lie your fucking ass off. I think that's part of the training.
It might be in their handbook.
It probably is. You got to screw people over. You got to not do what the people want, and you got to lie. And you got to find ways to funnel money into your own pocket. Because that's what all these cocksuckers do.
Yeah.
That's what every one of them do.
Seth Williams loves this land, stands tall and proud. Believes in freedom, speaks his mind out loud. Mentored by Trip, he learned to be tough. Life knocked him down, but he got back up. Lost a leg, but he's still strong and true. Chasing dreams under skies of red, white, and blue. Voting for Trump, he shouts it clear. WTAM tried to bring him down, but he's still here. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air. Hates LeBron James, won't wear that crown. Prefers hard work and blue jeans in this town. Radio waves try to shut him up, but Seth keeps singing, filling that cup. From the small town streets to the mountain high, Seth sees the flag waving, reaching for the sky. He keeps on fighting with a rebel yell, for every fallen soldier and the stories they tell. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air. From the small town streets to the mountain high, Seth sees the flag waving, reaching for the sky. He keeps on fighting with a rebel yell, for every fallen soldier and the stories they tell. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air.
It's the album that changed everything, Metallica's Black Album. In Cause and Effect, Metallica, author Chris Aiken takes you back to the lead-up, the release, and the shockwaves that followed. Relive the moment that divided fans, reshaped heavy metal, and turned commercial radio on its ear. With insider stories and personal memories from rock critic and radio personality Chris Aiken, this book is a backstage pass to one of rock's most iconic moments. Get your copy now at chrisaiken.net or on Amazon. Don't miss out on this epic journey through heavy metal history.